Hey guys, welcome back to another Clash Royale video, and today we have some huge news regarding the next big update in Clash Royale. When is it coming? What might be in there, including balance change news as well, with some interesting hints at potentially a wizard buff or even an elite barbarian buff coming in the near future, guys. So let's go ahead and dive into all of that news in today's video. First things first, guys, balance change news. So if you guys missed it, over on Twitter, Seth, aka the balance guy over on the Clash Royale team, he posted this poll earlier on this week. And in this poll, he asked which of these following low usage rate cards should get a buff in April. And he did confirm that the heal rework will be coming definitely in April as well, so no need to ask about that. Now, it's very interesting how he mentions it as a heal rework instead of the heal deletion, but the heal, whatever they're doing, is confirmed for April balance update. But in this poll, he's got 4 cards listed: Goblin Hut, Fisherman, Fire Spirits, and Elite Barbarians. Fisherman did win the vote there, so honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the Fisherman getting buffed in April balance update. But on this list was also the Elite Barbarians. Now, what that means is potentially Elite Barbarians are on their radar to receive either a buff or a rework in the near future. Because, as you guys know, Elite Barbarians are the single lowest win rate card in the entire game right now. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them getting a buff in Clash Royale. But very cool to see that the Elite Barbarians are at least on their radar to potentially get a buff or rework at some point in the future. Now, diving into some more balance change news over here, guys. In this post, guys, Drew mentions that they are currently testing balance changes for May. And Seth has been throwing out some weird and wonderful ideas, such as buffing the wizard to 4 elixir. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. The wizard is a very controversial card, and everyone's going to be like, that's crazy. What are they doing? Here's the thing. Like, I have no inside information, but I'm assuming that if they did change the wizard to 4 elixir, there would be a stat adjustment as well. It probably wouldn't have nearly as much health or do as much damage as it does now, but I think it's a really, really cool idea to get the wizard down to 4 elixir, because right now, why would you ever use the wizard over the baby dragon? The baby dragon does splash damage, doesn't get attacked by ground units, and is a lot tankier than a wizard is. What advantage does wizard offer for 1 extra elixir? So, having the idea of a wizard at 4 elixir, I think is a pretty cool idea as well. So those are some potential balance changes so far. We also have news on a couple more cards as well. Somebody asked over here how likely it was that Magic Archer, Mini P.E.K.K.A. as well as Bomb Tower might get tuned down in April, and Seth confirmed at least one of them will be nerfed. So Magic Archer or Mini P.E.K.K.A. or Bomb Tower, one of those 3 cards is confirmed to be nerfed in the April balance update. My guess is on Magic Archer. That seems to be the hot topic right now in Clash Royale. We also have the discussion here regarding, the Royal Delivery. As you guys know, Royal Delivery is a really kind of cool card and the newest card in Clash Royale, but it has that weirdly slow drop timer. So Seth confirmed right here that initially they wanted the Royal Delivery to be a defense against swarm troops and fragile things at the bridge, but it's clear it's not quite useful enough to justify being in your deck. So they're playing around with significantly increased damage or the ability to spawn 2 recruits, all right? They're playing around with more interactions, but it's clear that there needs to be more awesome trades possible for it to make it into the meta. So basically, very interesting idea here, guys. I would have thought that the easy answer for a Royal Delivery is just a faster drop timer, but it feels like they want to kind of keep that slow drop timer for the Royal Delivery and maybe make it deal more damage or spawn more recruits to justify that slow timer, which I think is a cool idea. We already have a ton of like instant reaction spells: arrows, log, barbarian barrel, zap snowball, fireball. We have a lot of instant spells already. So differentiating the Royal Delivery by making it deal more damage or spawning more recruits and keeping that slow timer, I think is a great way to differentiate the card from the rest of these spells in the game. So I'm actually kind of happy that they're going this direction with the Royal Delivery than just typically, increasing the spawn timer or whatever, right? So that's kind of a cool idea there. Also have potentially a buff coming for the Fire Spirits. So somebody asked about this, and this is what Seth had to say. He says, instead of nerfing Wall Breakers, we're going to buff a vaguely similar card that autofill a similar role. Now, my instinct there is to think of fire spirits, because wall breakers, you place them down, they run, they explode, and they die. Fire spirits, you place them down, they run, they explode, and they die. The only difference being that wall breakers and fire spirits, one targets buildings, one targets anything. So I'm assuming that they mean fire spirits here in this post. That seems to be what everyone thinks as well, but it could mean something else. Let me know what you guys think it is down below. We also have some information on Battle Healer and Ghost, okay? Obviously, Ghost is in a tough spot right now, not really in the meta. Battle Healer is. Maybe could use even a nerf. But somebody asked about the Ghost hovering over the rivers. If you guys remember, back when the Battle Healer was first announced, they announced a hover mechanic for it, but it was removed just before she was released. So here's what Drew had to say. He says, unfortunately, we had to remove the Battle Healer hover just before release. However, in our next client update, if he's not wrong, they will be adding this to both the Battle Healer and the Royal Ghost. So, potentially confirmation on a Ghost having the hover mechanic, being able to hover over the river in the next client update. Same thing with the Battle Healer. Now, if they did that for the Battle Healer, I would expect a nerf for her as well, because she's a very, very strong card right now and could probably use a nerf just by itself without the hover mechanic. So kind of cool news right there. One last card that I do want to mention, by the way, guys, no 21 challenge or 21 badge for the 70 elixir challenge. But one more card here in regards to balance changes, guys, is the Goblin Hut. Somebody asked about buffing the Goblin Hut. Obviously not very popular right now. And Seth said that they're really, really happy with the Barbarian Hut change, and they may make it a standard design for all spawners. If the Barb Hut does get buffed, look for something similar in the form of a shortened lifetime and added death spawn of a couple of spirit goblins, which I think is a fantastic and phenomenal idea. I absolutely love what they did with the Barbarian Hut. They basically made it from one of these defensive, annoying, slow-paced cards to face to being more interactive, more engaging, more responsive, better on defense, but also not as annoying to face because of the shorter lifetime and the death spawn. So I think it's a great idea to do this for all the spawners. Reduce the lifetime of Goblin Hut, add a couple of death goblins, and overall you can make spawners, be less oppressive. But that is the news, guys, for balance changes. Potentially spawners being changed, fire spirit potential buff, elite barbarians on the radar, fishermen, fire spirits, Goblin Hut. We have Royal Ghost and Battle Healer potentially getting a hover mechanic in the next client update. We have a nerf for the Magic Archer or Mini Pecker or Bomb Tower coming. We have potentially a buff for Royal Delivery. Overall, very, very cool. I'm absolutely in love with all these ideas being shared here in regards to balance update. Feel free to let me know down below, guys. What do you think of the balance change news? What do you think of Wizard potentially going to 4 elixir? What do you think of elite barbarians? What do you think of any of the ideas that I just shared with you guys from this list here? Let's go ahead now and dive into the information on the next big client update. Because let's be real, guys, it's been a while since we've had a big update in Clash Royale. The last client update was at the end of November. It is now March. So it's been a couple of months. It's been 4 months since the last client update. It's been almost a year since the last big game feature update being Trophy Road. Obviously, since then we had Clash Royale, Party Mode, and then the November update, which none of them really had like a massive game-changing feature like Trophy Road was, right? So here's the news on the next client update. They're still working hard on the next big update, the one they teased in TV Royale. We'll get to that in a minute. But we're having a lot of fun developing it. Things are moving very quickly. We're keeping a lot of development under wraps, but we'll be looking forward to sharing more info when the time is right. So, they confirmed down here that April is not when the update is coming, okay? It's almost near the end of March right now. We're halfway through March. The next client update is not coming in April either, which means we're looking at potentially May, June, or July for the update. I have no idea. I would assume either May or June for the update because it's been a while. If it's not in April, that'll be 5 months since the last client update, which is November. So we have December, January, February, March, and April is 5 months between client updates at the minimum, which I believe is the longest we've ever gone between client updates in the game. But here's the thing. Here's what I think. Here's my opinion on it. I feel like if this update is massive and game-changing, it's worth the wait. I would much rather wait, 1 or 2 more months for a big game-changing update than have them kind of rush it and release it, now or in April and have it not have as many features, if that makes sense. Because I think we can all agree right now that we really, really want something new in Clash Royale right now. And I think we can agree also that Clan Wars is the most need of a revamp. Now, if you guys remember, he mentioned this teaser from the update right here. This is it right here. If you guys didn't know already, pull up your game in Clash Royale right now. Compare this image to the Clan War Island in the game, and you'll notice that it exactly corresponds to the Clan War Island in Clash Royale. You have, the Spell Valley, you have Frozen Peak, you have the Jungle Arena in the middle there, you have Hog Mountain way at the end, Legendary Arena top left corner, you have P.E.K.K.A Playhouse on the right, Bone Pit, and then you have Spell Valley. All of these arenas correspond directly to the location of the arena on the Clan War Island. So I'm assuming this teaser here relates to Clan Wars 2.0. We also have all the boats that are used in Clan Wars as well. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think, obviously nobody's super thrilled to have the update not be coming in April. I think we kind of all really, really want to see it. But are you guys and girls okay waiting for an extra month or two if it is a massive, massive new update with potentially a Clan Wars 2.0 system? Are you guys in agreement with me that would you be willing to wait an extra month or two if it's that massive, or would you prefer they had it now? I mean, obviously we'd all prefer it now, but would you prefer they cut content and have it now, or have a bigger update and have it in a month or two, right? So that is the news for the next big update, guys, potentially coming in May or later, confirmed not to be coming in April. In terms of balance changes, we have, I already mentioned before, we also have confirmation that that the next season, Season 10, is going to have more gold than any other season. So if you guys have cards that you want to upgrade, next season would be great for you. And finally, we have a Magic Archery emote coming out as well. So that is the information, guys, on update and balance changes. Let's go ahead now and dive into something else, my personal balance change wish list. This is something that I really enjoy doing and forming a discussion with all of my viewers. So feel free to leave any comments down below. What do you think of my balance wish list? What is your balance wish list? All of your thoughts, feel free to leave down below. So taking a look at these stats provided by Royale API over here, these are the card stats in Grand Challenges over the last 7 days. The reason I use Grand Challenge stats and not ladder stats is because Grand Challenge has tournament standard, equal levels. These stats are more reliable. On ladder, you might have over-leveled cards, and cards appear stronger when they're over-leveled, so your stats aren't nearly as reliable on ladder. So when it comes to the big three cards, Magic Archer, Mini P.E.K.K.A, and Bomb Tower, they are very strong. Bomb Tower's got 56% win rate, Mini P.E.K.K.A 52, Magic Archer surprisingly a lot lower at 51. Now here's the interesting thing. Magic Archer is probably the most hot topic right now in the meta. People are gunning for a Magic Archer nerf. But the win rate isn't crazy. If you sort this list by win percentage, Magic Archer is all the way down here. It is on the third row, like 30th card in the entire game for win percentage. Obviously, the use rates are insane. Now, here's the thing. Use rates and win rates don't tell the whole story. The reason why Magic Archer feels so strong is it works as a defensive unit, as a support unit, as a win condition. It literally does everything. So it's a bit too versatile right now. Wouldn't be surprised if they nerfed it. However, my one wish right here is if they do nerf Magic Archer, please don't nerf it too hard. I think it's a good card to have in the meta. I hope if they nerf it, it doesn't die. So please don't nerf Magic Archer too hard. But it's funny how everyone mentions Magic Archer being superly strong and overpowered, but yet not a whole lot of people mention Battle Healer or Graveyard or Lava Hound. Lava Hound is the single highest win rate card in the entire game right now, but people don't really mention it. Graveyard has a very similar win rate to Lava Hound, 57%, but the use rates are insane. 17% use rate, 57% win rate, compared to Lava Hound, over triple or almost triple the use rate of Lava Hound, but similar win rates. But not a whole lot of people say Graveyard is overpowered. Battle Healer, one of the most oppressive cards in the game right now. The thing with Battle Healer is it's super rock, paper, scissors. If you don't have lightning or rocket or whatever in there, it just destroys you. Nobody mentions Battle Healer. So very, very interesting. So my personal wish list here, guys, is I hope they nerf maybe 1 or 2 of the OP cards this season. Maybe nerf Magic Archer and nerf Bomb Tower. Okay, that's it. Just nerf 1 or 2 OP cards. I really, really enjoyed the all buff update they did in February, where they buffed Barbarian Hut and they buffed a bunch of other things. And I really, really love seeing underused cards come into the meta. So I would prefer they focus their attention down here on this extensive list of cards that aren't viable right now. AKA Fire Spirits, Bowler, Witch, Elite Barbarians, Zappies, Recruits, Goblin Hut, Fisherman. All of these are in desperate need of buffs, guys. The Elite Barbarians are the single lowest win rate card in the entire game. Obviously, we mentioned in the beginning there that they are on their radar, apparently, for getting a buff. But I believe they need a massive rework, guys. The Elite Barbarians have 11% win rate, lowest win rate in the game. If you ever use E-Barbs, I've used them myself. They don't really do anything in the game. They don't defend well. They don't counter push well. They don't push well. They just die to everything. They aren't very an effective unit. So I've shared some crazy ideas before, but I hope they do something crazy and out of the box thinking with Elite Barbarians. I hope it's not just a raw stat buff. I hope that, give them a charge attack, make them start slower, charge up, and then deal splash damage on impact, and then switch to single target DPS. The reason I say that is the #1 complaint against E-Barbs is when people use them at the river and you can't respond in time. But by giving them a charge time, they initially have that slower walk speed, giving you more time to respond to them. Some other ideas are give them a shield, make their helmet their shield, make them spawn further apart so that things like Mega Knight and Dark Prince can't hit both of them immediately. Just be creative with it. I think Elite Barbarians could use a massive rework. Same thing with Witch. Obviously, they tried to buff her back in the fall of last year. Didn't really go so well. But ever since they changed it back to the way it was, she's the second lowest win rate card in the entire game. Give a small buff for the Witch as well. Fire Spirits has already been confirmed to be on their radar. Bowler is another card, guys. They mentioned a Bowler potential rework many, many months ago, where the Bowler, might deal extra damage to buildings. I think it's a cool idea. Why not go ahead and do that for Bowler, right? Bowler use some love. Zappies as well. I think we can all agree that Zappies aren't quite what they used to be, even with the recent buff. So maybe a slight buff as well for these Zappies. Royal Recruits in their rework overall. Potentially, if they're gonna go ahead and buff the Royal Delivery, why not buff the Royal Recruits at the same time? And you had 2 birds, 1 stone. Goblin Hut, they already mentioned the potential change being similar to the Barbarian Hut. I think it's a cool idea. Fisherman needs a buff for sure. That's basically my list, guys. Oh, Wizard as well. Wizard currently has a 21% win rate in Clash Royale. 21%. So it's definitely very low. So for everyone that says, no, not Wizard, I mean, the stats don't really lie. It is a fairly weak card. I know it dominates on ladder. Don't get me wrong, guys. I actually have 2 mini accounts that are both free to play. Both of them around, 4,500 to 5,000 trophies. I see almost every battle max Wizard, and sometimes max E-Barbs as well, guys. Don't get me wrong. I know the pain. I see max Wizards all the time on my mini accounts. Most of the time we win. Most of the time, even as an underlevel player, we beat those Wizards because the Wizard isn't really a good card at all. It doesn't really do anything. So I'm definitely happy to see how it might fit in the meta, potentially at 4 Elixir. But that's my list, guys. That's my list. Buff Recruits, buff Zappies, buff E-Barbs, buff Goblin Hut, buff Fisherman, buff Fire Spirits, buff Bowler, buff the Witch. Why not go crazy and buff like the bottom 10 cards in the entire game, right? Here's the thing. We already know the next big update is not coming until after April. Confirmed not to be in April. And we're all kind of sitting here kind of waiting, wanting something new in the game. Why not have a massive balance update as a sort of way to tide us over until the next big update, right? I feel like the meta right now is fairly balanced. Obviously, we have a few outlier cards, but for the most part, most win conditions are viable. But the issue with that is it's felt the same for the past 4 months or so, right? The meta has felt very much the same over the past couple of months. So why not use the balance update as a great way to breathe some freshness into the meta, into the game in the meantime while we wait for the update? Throw in a 10 card massive buff list in April, and that way we all have some fun new stuff to play around with while we wait for the update, right? I don't know, guys. Let me know down below if you think I'm crazy or not. If you had 10 cards, I'm going to give you a massive list today. If you had 10 cards to change, buff or nerf or rework, what would they be and how would you change them? Let me know down below, guys. But that is the end of the video. Let me know what you think of anything I mentioned in today's video. What do you think of the potential balance change news? What do you think of the update news not coming in April? What do you think of my balance wish list? Feel free to share any of your feedback or comments down below. My main goal with doing videos like this is to get a discussion going. Okay? So feel free to just say whatever you want. You can call me a noob if you want down below. Maybe I am a noob for wanting to see E-Barbs buffed. Feel free to call me a noob if you want to. But I just feel like with a win percentage of 11%, we can all agree that they're pretty weak right now. So, guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your thoughts down below. Enjoy the rest of your day today, guys. And we shall see you in the next one.